Let's start with the pledge,
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. First item of business is to approve the minutes of the July 2nd, 2025 meeting. Looking for a motion? Dan?
Second.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next, discussion on Made in America renewable energy projects for solar. John, would you like to?
This item came in today from an attorney from a law firm called Young Summer. They represent solar and wind power projects, and a few months ago, this company called RIC Energy came and met with the planning board. We had a fairly long meeting with their people, and we made them aware of two major things that our code references, which is a solar project or a wind project, whatever it's going to be. The town of Sullivan has a declaration that those products shall be made in America, and then separately that any security be cash security. Well, today I got an email in the morning from this attorney asking if I would approach. I knew there was a board meeting. I don't think there's anybody here from RIC. Wanted to know if the board was willing to take steps necessary to waive or remove the requirements for Made in America for the panels and all the equipment to do the solar projects that they want to do. That's a legislative decision. I'd have to go back in and pass a local law to pull it out of your law. But it was in there. That's what you passed. They're just making the request, so I'm passing it on to them. You can decide, you can talk about it and decide in the future, or you can just at least know about it. It's up to you. Okay? And that's all I have to say about it.
All right. Thank you, John. Anybody have any thoughts right now? Or just want to talk about it?
We wrote that for laws based on, trying to promote Made in America. And the other part of it would be cash bonds to make sure that you weren't stuck in the end. When they're decommissioned or the town's construction, when they make it. So, me personally, Made in America was important at that point, and that still is to me. It is a board.
I can tell you it's a short discussion.
For me, it's short.
No.
I think it's short for all.
I think we took a long time, if you remember, we worked on the solar law, it took a long time, we tried to look at every angle from.
I'll pass that around. Doesn't require a vote, but I've got the temperature of the board.
Okay, thanks, John. Okay, next on our agenda is the Ridgepoint reports, our fire truck discussion, and Mr. Ostrowski, would you like to enlighten us, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Supervisor, Councilman, I come before you to discuss the replacement of Bridgeport Engine 1. Engine 1 was manufactured in 2006 by the Emergency One Company in Ocala, Florida. It was put in service March 1st of 2007. A little bit of background on Engine 1. Engine 1 is a 10-man cab with 10 SCBAs and a spare bottle for each one of the air packs. The engine is designed to have a 1,000-gallon tank, water tender, a HAL 1250 pump. That's what pressurizes the water from the fire hydrant, just for anybody that may not understand what that means. And then it has a 30-gallon foam tank on it for the synthetic fires or stubborn fires that we can't just put out with water. The unit is equipped with 1,400 foot of large diameter 4-inch supply line. It has 500 foot of 3-inch supply line that we utilize for like the Bridgeport School and any place that we need to lay a large volume of water at distance before we can work off of a regular supply. And it has 600 foot of pre-connected rapid deployment attack line. Along with the generator, halogen lighting, and a hydraulic system for the jaws of life, there are many hand tools and other equipment that we may need at the scene of an incident that this vehicle is equipped with. When Engine 1 was built, it was designed with a life expectancy of 20 years to serve our community. The time has approached to replace that engine. The current mileage on the engine is 26,897 miles, and it has 2,201 engine hours on it. Due to the nature of the mileage, it does not accurately reflect the true usage of the vehicle. The national average on a medium-duty diesel engine is 40 miles an hour. So if you take the actual engine hours and times it by 40, the truck actually has 88,040 miles on it. In other words, if you had driven the vehicle 2,201 hours at 40 miles an hour, you would have approximately 88,000 miles on the vehicle. Because with fire trucks, we drive just a short distance and then they run for a long periods of times. Your engine hours are, in many cases, more important than your mileage on the vehicle itself. Our records indicate over the last 18 years that we have spent approximately $40,000 on annual preventative maintenance, pump testing, certifications, tires, generator maintenance, repairs, battery, lighting, to just list a few. The older the vehicle gets, we are finding more repairs are needed. Our policy is when the vehicle enters the highway, it will get washed based on the weather conditions. This procedure helps preserve the paint and finish, prolonging oxidation to the body and undercarriage. This policy has been in place longer than my 40+ years of service to the department. I have supplied each year with a packet of pictures to show some of the corrosion that is developed on the body under the paint. If you would take a look at those pictures, and if you'll put them up there, please. So the first picture is clearly what the truck looks like, the front of the truck. The second picture is a right side of passenger view. The next picture is the left-hand view of the vehicle, and then the back of the vehicle. So in the next picture, you will see, and I did my best to circle some areas where there is corrosion starting under the paint on the vehicle. Now, I highlighted the large areas. As you look at this vehicle, there's spots all over it. The next picture, it's a little bit harder to see, but as you can see around the rear lights, you can see the bubbling in the paint and the corrosion that has started. The next picture is the left-hand set of lighting. It's the same condition on that side of the vehicle. The next picture is on the left side of the vehicle, and I think it's very clear to everyone, you know, the oxidation that's in there, and you know, it's working in the opening for the compartment size, so it would be rather challenging to really preserve that. The next picture is on the cab itself. It's a little hard to see because of the white, but there's corrosion starting around the window frames, and we know what happens when the window seals are broken. You know, we've got added problems that are going to develop with the vehicle. The next picture is just another window frame on the front of the vehicle. This is on the right front officer's door. You can see the corrosion starting there. The next picture is on water level lights that are on the body that aid us when we're at distance from the vehicle, so we know how much water is in the truck itself. But as you look at where those arrows are pointing, there's corrosion around all those lights. So as you can tell, corrosion is across the entire vehicle, and I feel committing funds to a vehicle restoration would not be feasible due to the age of this engine. With the advancements in vehicles and technology, I feel that we can design and purchase an engine that will do the same job plus more. I have brought members of my committee with me tonight to emphasize the importance to us to protect and preserve the property of the residents in the town of Sullivan and Cicero. Chief Olmsted, Chief Sager, Captain Hoyt come with many years of experience and knowledge in the fire service. We have spent nearly the last year looking at different equipment and ideas for the next generation fire engine for the Bridgeport community. With LED lighting, battery operated tools, and more convenient compartment design for hand tools, we feel we can downsize from a 10-man cab to a 6-man cab like we're currently running, and provide the same superior response to the community's needs. We have decided to upgrade the fire pump to accommodate the expansion at Point Place Casino and Hotel. So with the hotel, we feel that there's a need with the sprinkler system and supplying the FDC in the event of a fire, that a bigger fire pump is more beneficial and will aid us in fire suppression much quicker. The new design will enable us to provide additional equipment that may be needed for the hotel events along with our normal day-to-day operations. As we talk to various fire truck manufacturers, we are being told lead times are between 850 and 950 days based on workloads for those particular manufacturers. I would like to ask you to allow us to complete our spec design and submit a bid specification for the bidding process. I believe the longer we delay this process, the lesser the value that we could recover from the resale of Engine 1. As always, if you wish to view the current situation and the status of Engine 1 in person, I'll be more than happy to arrange time and a date that's convenient for you to look at the vehicle. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Do we have a reserve account, putting money in it over the last few years?
cover something like this?
No, I've let them know previously, even with the current one with North Chenango, there was no, reserve account ever established for, anything to do with the fire department.
Roughly how much is a fire truck?
I honestly don't know. The last engine that we bought in 2022 was $650,000. I honestly couldn't tell you. I know that North Chenango's rescue was $944,000. So
We're talking over $1 million.
yeah, I think we're going to be in that neighborhood. But until the specifications go out and we get it in, I wouldn't know.
What do you think the value of this truck is now?
Well, so it's like anything else, it's a supply and demand. So we have been somewhat successful. There potentially is a smaller department someplace that doesn't have a budget that can withstand that. With the size of it, I would say right now we might be in the 60 to 70,000 range. But I don't know what's going to happen, by the time another engine comes in. So this engine, brand new, in 2000, on March 1st, 2007, when we wrote the voucher and paid for it, it was $347,951. So, you can see over time, the changes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Jim, for sharing that with us. Okay, something we certainly need to talk about. So, next on our agenda, Chenango ladder truck refurbishment. John, come on up.
Yes, I'm next. The refurbishment of the ladder truck, the truck is back, the invoices are in, and the number came in at 109,495. We had budgeted, back when Mr. Becker was here, we had asked him about replacement, he asked us about refurbishment, we went with refurbishment. So like I said, it came into 109,495. They allotted us, the town allotted us $114,000. But we also had issues that we came up with corrosion, valve repairs, battery terminals needed replaced, exhaust needed replaced, corrosion in the rear of the truck. We had corrosion in some of the two main bars up top. Master battery switch failure. We had rust on the aerial, and obviously there's paint, there's leak. With those additional costs, it was $28,000. So the total bill would be $137,000 and some change. I'm looking to get $28,000 approved to get the truck paid for. I believe Eric has paid the $109,000 right now. Yeah. So I'm looking for the additional $28,000 to get the truck bill taken care of. This truck, the little history of this vehicle, it's 20 years old. We said yes for refurbishment. My personal feeling on it is that refurbishment is tough. When you open things up, you start finding other things that are wrong. We don't know how long this is gonna. We're hoping to get 10 years out of it, so it'll be a 30-year truck. I don't know what its value is going to be at that point for a resale. At this point, resale might be a good thing, but the other thing is, if you were to replace this truck right now, I just talked to a couple buddies on the phone today, I wanted to get a price of what they paid for their vehicles, 1.7 million. Replace that ladder truck. So, I understand what Jim's going through, I understand the corrosion part of it. Like I said, you open something up, you get another can of worms. Other things happen, and it's kind of a nightmare with some things. But to pay $137,000 on refurbishment on a ladder truck, where you would have replaced it for $1.8 million is probably a pretty good deal. So,
You're picking up 10 years of life.
trying to get 10 years,
Roughly.
trying to get 10 years of life out of it without paying $16,000, $17,000 a year in maintenance costs. So,
Now, that's a ladder truck?
yeah, and it's a 105-foot ladder, 400 gallons of water on it. Everybody knows that they're building buildings bigger around here. Jim is gonna have a hotel.
So Jim's is a ladder truck too?
No, it's a straight
It's a
engine.
regular truck, okay.
Yeah, so, and with ours, you know, you don't know what they're gonna do at Yellow Brick. They can build something, they might not build anything, but you could get something down here in the industrial park that gets built. I know there was talk about, I think, old people's home or something, but, yeah, so I think paying $137,000 for a refurb is a pretty good deal compared to 1.8 million to replace it. But the other thing is in Jim's case, in our case, Lord Chinhago's case, the town probably has to think about putting some kind of reserve together for the replacement of some of these vehicles at some point. At least keep the rotation going. Come up with a truck that's 20 years old, 25 years old, just it's time to replace it, try and get its value out of it, try and keep them in as best shape as you can, hold them, but try to get some value out of it at the end. So.
Do we have a list, like, of the whole fleet? that all three of-
Yeah, I think I supplied Carrie with
That all three of you have, it
Yeah.
seems like we have a lot of trucks.
Yeah, I supplied a list to Carrie beginning of the year, and I think all three of us did. So,
I just wish that, I'll send it again.
yeah, and I think you got all the dates, mileage, everything on them, so. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we act on that now, John, or do we have to act on that now?
See, it's up to the board, if you guys want to discuss and table, whatever you like.
Did you fix it already?
It's all fixed, it's all back.
We gotta pay the bill.
I think,
We don't have a choice.
I don't think it's something for discussion here.
You need to pay the bills.
We gotta pay the bill,
So I'll
right?
make a motion,
I'll second it.
and we pay the bill.
I'll second it.
This is 28,000
Yes.
We had, yeah.
It's
and change.
6,000 less than that.
$28,479.
Eric, can we do that? What's that? Can we do that?
Who made the motion?
Dave?
We had 6,000 set aside, so we're actually looking for 22 additional.
Oh, from the 109 to 114.
Correct.
So we had $5,000, so they went 23,000 over budget. Okay. Correct?
Correct.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You should do that by roll call, just to be official.
Yeah, for the month, okay.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye.
I'm an aye.
5-0 carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda. Looks like we're having a few sewer problems out on Route 31. So Andy, would you like to link us on these?
Not really.
Oh, no.
I wish I went first.
I guess you're good.
I don't know if there's any left.
Okay, so in the last 2 years, we've had 3, I don't want to call them breaks, but breaches of the 10-inch main that runs along Route 30. And all 3 of those occasions, we've had to do emergency repairs, at the cost of between $10,000 and $15,000 per repair. What we found, well, the area we're talking is right at the town Lennox line at Burlingame Road. Back west about 1,100 feet, there's a manhole there, manhole number 11. And from there to where it goes under Route 31 down Burlingame Road, we've had two breaches there. So basically there's air in the pipe and it's causing massive corrosion. That's ductile iron, and you can see by the top of that pipe that we have a severe problem. On 2 of those occasions, we had a hard time digging back and even getting to pipe that was any good for that repair. So from that manhole number 11 to Burlingame Pump Station is about, is it 4,400 feet? Is that the number?
That's the total. I think that area is 1,200 feet.
Right, so the first thought was to camera about 4,500 feet of that whole system and come up with a plan for replacement, which would probably be half to $750,000 million. But at this point, I feel that the 1,100 foot section is in desperate need of a replacement. And before we go further with investigating the rest of that line, I would like to get approval to do an emergency repair on that section of pipe. Due to the condition, it could start leaking again tomorrow. And if it leaks tomorrow, we're gonna have to do another emergency repair, and it's just gonna keep adding up. So, I did email you guys quotes, and North Country had sent a quote for $106,389 to replace approximately 1,100 feet of 10-inch main with HDPE pipe, replacing it with plastic, not ductile iron. So I'm asking that the board would consider that emergency repair. Ken has also, from my request, has done quite a bit of work, helped us at this point, so I do believe we have quite a bit of time with him as well. But once we get this repair done, then we're gonna have to do some investigating on how we want to address the rest of that system. Again, I don't know if I mentioned 2007 that was installed, so that's not a very long life.
What year was it?
2007.
It's not long, is it?
No.
The HVAC pipe will last how much, you know?
These messes, like,
The new pipe that you choose.
The new pipe.
The new
by
pipe.
the HCP,
Yeah,
it's
But we also-
susceptible to corrosion.
that's everything, so it's good.
Yeah.
It's like everything now.
How come this place wasn't used before?
So when this was done, a couple things, it preceded, the use of horizontal directional drilling, or what we used at the time.
Like directional towards drilled some of it.
Everything west of West Sullivan, we drilled. Crossing went in as directional drilling
We drilled the main to my farm.
for the 4-inch. Force main was designed and bid as either PVC or ductile iron pipe. And at the time, the project was financed through CWSRF, through the Environmental Facilities Corporation, grant. And when the bids came in order to award the project, came in with a budget. We took a look at pipe options, not going with the ductile iron. It lost, basically removed tens of thousands of dollars of line with direct buried pipe. And by going with the ductile iron instead of PVC with stone bedding, it's a more cost effective way to go. So at that time, we go with ductile iron. The system was designed with chemical feed for H2S reduction, use of dioxide, stationed out on Shackleton
it is what it is, I mean,
Right.
no, what we have to fix today, I mean,
So we have I just was informed by Airfield, $169,000 in reserves for emergency repairs. So that's dedicated to those districts. So we do have the money.
Yeah, if I can just jump, I'm assuming, I just need to find the documents on that, I'm assuming that's exactly what it's for, what else it would be for.
Yeah, we have to clarify that that can be designated.
Yeah, that's what the true reserve is. I can't, let me figure out what else it would possibly be for, besides repair. For that amount of money that's in the reserve.
So, we don't have $500,000 in reserve with the other. We're gonna have to do some investigating and cross that bridge likely sooner than later. But in the meantime, I think it's imperative that we, replace that section.
So this is kind of like an emergency fix.
It is a service.
Yes. So it's something we really need to do right now.
In my opinion, yes.
just for my clarification, you guys, when we do these projects, you guys get all sorts of grant money and stuff, is there grant money for replacement or repair, or no, probably not?
Not unless,
Didn't think so, but.
coupled it up with another project, but, you know,
Yeah,
we continue to look for funding for expenses number one, so.
Okay, right, okay.
Can I use part of that $7 million grant? What about the $7 million grant we just got? No, can't use any portion of that for repair.
It's going toward reducing.
John, do you have anything?
Well, I think the evidence we have now is what we looked at, this is an emergency for that particular portion of it. You are allowed to repair the area, so it's going to be up to the board to authorize the list of money subject to Eric's investigation about the account. We're not be that, after that, Eric, we'd have to talk and figure out how we can cover that. It's all doing it. We need the bid, and we need the seeker is in type 2 anyway, so we completed it just right now, so it's type 2. Maybe I'll help you with the minutes on type 2.
So we still have time to bid it, all right? It's not like we have to fix it tomorrow.
We had 2 in a week. I don't think we have time.
You know, once I take for that week.
I can call her.
I mean, it would just be nice to feel that that was a,
Comparable.
yeah.
I think with a bid, you gotta put it in the paper for so many days and how does that
You'd
record?
you'd have to publish it
Yeah.
with specs.
You solicit as an emergency, you solicit 3 competitive quotes.
That's possible, you can do that, but you better get it done in the next day or 2 though, because we're declaring it to be an emergent condition.
I mean, I feel their quotes have been very reasonable, everything they've done for us. But again, that's a board decision, that's not me, so.
I mean, it sounds reasonable, but I think as far as, I think we still have to get it out. We have some time. If we're okay for a day or 2. I mean, when did North Country start it?
I think pretty quick.
How long is project designating?
Well, they said they can, depending on conditions, they could do up to 500 feet a day, so.
Supposed to be done within a week.
Yeah.
All tied in, all cleaned up. This is just line board, right? And then tie in the
Yeah,
ends of
as long as they don't run into any issues.
going right on top of existing.
Or beside it.
Beside it.
Growing it in here.
They're gonna drill it.
Does the cost go back to the users?
Absolutely. That's what the reserves, he's talking about.
Reserve is
I guess what I'm asking is, so we have to make, let's just say it's $106,000, does that have to be dispersed back into the users?
you rebuild
Over time, or not?
Which if the reserve is written correctly, would have that in there, now it gets,
Because I know Bridgeport original was $100 per unit is paying.
Sure, like that's, this course main benefits all 4 of those, so it's about 1,580 right now. for, to do it.
'Cause I know, Bridgeport original was $100 per unit, and then, you know, they got the, 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 the,
And keep in mind, again, that with North Country, Sunday night I called them, they were mobilized by 8 AM Monday morning and did the repairs. So they immediately mobilized. Last winter, they were out doing where a saddle broke, it was 14 below zero, and they were out there immediately doing repairs. So, again, I feel they're timely, and they show up. So we did reach out to MCI, who did one other repair for us, and they didn't call us back, so.
Who was that?
Is it MCI? So,
Andy, out of curiosity, there was another quote for C900 to 126,000. What's the difference?
C900 is your PVC gasket. Yeah, it's water grade.
It's actually
Pipe.
one, and you'd have to excavate.
Right.
Then- Okay, I'm just curious. Yeah.
You can't pull. Real HDP cannot pull these.
there is some other options for repair, that we talked about, called like boosting. But again, I think those things need to be a discussion once we get this repair done. So probably, and again, if we find that we do some paperwork, we find that there is deterioration in other spots, hopefully we can identify that and then come up with a plan. But this section by far is the absolute worst section that we've seen.
So kind of back in the very beginning, were we not, as a town, not treating it properly? As far as right chemicals or?
Bioxide was used for quite a while, is my understanding, and then it was stopped using it. I don't know if it was because of the issues or interference at the Silver Beach plant with the scan process. There's some stuff going on there. But, you know, the system as a whole was not maintained at the current level it's being maintained. And they have had something to do with it. They exponentially built up hydrogen sulfide in the area.
Well, you've had a lot more districts too since that time frame. Is that true? That you're pushing more miles of force main. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so this was put in when you only had, West Sullivan, as Dave mentioned, his park, he was part of that. Harbor Lights Business Park, doesn't have much, and then sewers were extended over to Chapman Park, sort of people across Minor Road. And then you pick up Larkins Point, pump station that went into the sewers. That was it. Excuse me, that was it at the time. And then Bridgeport was brought in 2012.
So when I first took over, there was constant complaints in Lakewood area odor. The system, was supposed to be being treated with, dioxide, and it wasn't being treated properly, if at all. Sylvan Beach, every time we treated, you'd get a phone call that they were getting a waxy buildup in their treatment plant, and they, insisted that we stop using it. And they, suggested we use peroxide. At the current time, I couldn't get authorization to switch things over, and the phone calls continued. So we have switched over Chapman Point to peroxide. There was, I did have information that Harbor Town was supposed to put in another treatment station there. I don't know if that is accurate information. In my opinion, we need to do some more treating. But the peroxide on Chapman Point, since we've started treating that and maintaining that, I have not received one phone call over it. So we're doing something right. I mean, we're also maintaining the levels in the harvester as well, running the fans properly, but I believe the peroxide is definitely helping with some of that as well.
Our store is equipped with aeration blowers, so once Andy mentions Harbor Town, so you're taking flow all the way from Shackleton Point up northwest of Harbor. It's all low pressure, so there's no oxygen. It dumps in front of the school, that flows by gravity, so it's re-aerating, hits the 31 wet well, and goes 4 miles across the force main under anaerobic conditions, dumps to your harbor store. You've got the opportunity there to maintain, a level of sewage of re-aerating, boosting the oxygen back into the force main for that last stretch of here. So all those things have to be working at optimal, optimally to use your hydrogen sulfide for many years thereon.
There is an injection point at the Harvester, but, since I've been here, it's not been up and running. And I don't know why, if it would make a difference, but it hasn't been running.
Maybe as part of these investigations, we can take hydrogen sulfide use, like discharge the force main, just to see what the conditions are. Find out nice reduction.
This one, I want, it's only 20 years, so
18.
18 years, whatever, it's been, not very long. We haven't even paid for it yet.
So again, my recommendation is to move forward in order to get the new regard.
Ken, do you think this is a good idea to do this now and then consult with you later on? The rest?
Yes.
You guys have any discussion?
I feel that, North Country is very familiar with us and has done what, like Ian said, I went to the, site in January and it had to be, I don't know, it had to be way below zero. And they came running and they didn't stop and they fixed that. And then Kurt is another asset that really is, he's babysitting that system way more than it was. And he flows moving. I'm comfortable with that, that helps you. I've been following this straight from the beginning, and I'm really comfortable with North Country and comfortable with the pricing. Yeah, it's worth this. I just wanna make sure you know that I've been following up on this whole thing and trying to understand the same as Dave mentioned, why this happened, so we'll call it prematurely. But as far as the repair, if you could consider, the fee that was put forward, I think it's the right move personally.
I know Andy's dealt with them before. It sounds like we've had a good relationship with them, so. Yeah, this is good, so.
If you fix the 1,000 feet behind that, develop some sort of plan with, sewer department and, out and try to figure out if there's more of an issue out there or where we're at. Or, again, as Dave mentioned, let's find out why. If it's hydrogen sulfide, is it right? Yes, if that's at too high a level, then we're looking at more issues down the road.
So they're definitely gauged from the inside, not the outside?
From the inside. And really, I'm sure that there's more deterioration. The pipe has a wrap on it, and basically the wrap is holding in the water.
So, so we gotta fix it, and trust Andy and everybody, I think, it's our job done. I actually fix it, if we can get something home. And we can legally do that.
Do what, you ask for additional quote?
Yeah, sure.
Remember, it's emerging conditions, so you don't want to keep pressing forward, so maybe you need to make an effort, try to get another quote, whether it happens or doesn't, next time, a couple of days, sort that out.
Ken, do you have an opinion on the price per foot?
Yeah, just based on the stationing, you mentioned 1,100, about 950 feet. What was it, like 28?
106.
They on a cooperative or anything, Andy? They on a
cooperative or state bid or any type of a municipal.
That's only my opinion, it's up to you guys as well, you know, but you're, and
The problem is, it's an emergency repair, if it's a good, if it's a reasonable price, if it's not an emergency, then we don't get quotes. So, I move that we move forward with $106,000 repair, taking it out of the reserves, the sewer district reserves, if we're assuming they're available. That's why they're there. Second.
Any more discussion?
This is a roll call.
We do roll call.
Spend the money, and again, I think baked into that is the notion that it's framing it as an emergency condition. Yes. So the expenditure of the funds, and then if, depending on what Eric finds, we're gonna have to revisit another special meeting to make sure the breakdown is right.
I'm a no.
I'm a yes.
Yes.
Yes, just have a caveat like Dave said, on not emergency situations, we've started in the last 2 years, getting bids on everything. I think it's gotta continue, or to just gas quo.
That's good. What's emergency?
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna get this motion, you pay the bill, then.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay. Thanks, Andy, for the research. Thanks, John. Thank you. Okay, next, happier note. Any pickleball players here?
Now, you wanna just touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, looking for approval for, I have one quote from OP. There aren't a lot of, area businesses that paint pickleball lines. So I'm looking for approval. It's $1,800. We power washed the courts to try to bring the line back into the line for pickleball. That didn't work, so. I have the money in my budget. I'm not asking for a lot, $1,800.
When did we do it last?
In 2019, it's when the courts were redone. The other lines are good, it's just the pickleball lines are a lighter color, so I'm gonna ask them. Fire engineer.
Anybody?
Who knew pickleball was such a hot topic?
Yeah.
It's getting bigger, though. So, yeah, we talked, I know Lori's talked about it with the board, and went through the whole process. So I would move that we move forward with that, flagging for $1,800.
Second to Andrew.
Yes.
Council Barton.
Yes.
Supervisor Gagnon.
Yes.
Councilor Gibbon.
Yes.
Councilor Lee.
Tom, I just want to piggyback off that real quick. The board, I've been meeting with the park board, they have a situation out at Sullivan Park where we're getting a lot of dirt bikes going through there, tearing up the trails. Unfortunately,
The basketball court.
the courts, they're not being as respectful as we'd like. So, you know, Lori and the board have approved some signage that say no motorized vehicles on the trails. They've run it through John. I want to make sure you're aware of that. So if you get questioned, why you can't do that? Well, this is an example of a few causing problems for many.
So around the area canals,
Are they damaged?
It's dusty.
Well, they're quite a big ruts in our trails, and they've taken the finish and paint off the basketball court.
Yeah, they've been doing burnouts.
They're in the bathrooms, like they,
Really?
those scooters,
See, to hit the golf courses all over too.
yeah.
It's just because of hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage.
Yep. Just be aware that the signs will be going up, so if you get questioned, that's why.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, next, Harbortown Phase 2 Agreement Authorization.
Okay, this is a proposal that the town board approved various written agreements that we've been negotiating with the developer. They include the HOA agreement for road maintenance, includes the highway sewer drainage maintenance agreement, which is applicable for larger subdivision. It includes a stormwater maintenance agreement that Mike has entered into. Any other, all of it's subject to my final review because I just got all this stuff from the lawyer this afternoon. So I have it. I started looking at it. So I looked at the insurance. Insurance is good. I've got the bond is in hand now. It's the original. That'll come to the town ultimately after I receive the original. So we'll have that. And those are the main agreements that I need. Now there's Tom. Some people may have a question about the actual project. I leave that to him. He's had to do something. But I do need, at some point before we move to the next item, I need this authorized or not. We can't really do anything with this stuff.
How about the HOA? The residents have a chance to look at that again?
I know it.
Okay.
That's Mike's.
Well, I just know in the past, we've had concerns from residents about the HOA.
There's an amendment to the HOA. He's responsible for that. This, Andy's is taking over the road out there. Part of this was they have this somewhat unique way they're shoring up that road. Our concern was so when it runs, the HOA. So that's part of this.
All the stormwater systems and all that.
That's all covered in that other agreement.
Hey John, I have a HOA question.
Yeah.
I've been requested to put flags on fire hydrants in that development.
Flags.
For winter time when the storm is deep.
Oh.
Would that be an HOA item?
That's a good question. I would bring it to Mike and see if he can take it to the ownership, but I presumably, I feel like you've got leverage to make sure that happens. This is for your guys, right? They need.
No, I
they
had a
want to see
request
it.
from a resident there.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought maybe you guys
It's
wanted to
not,
see
no,
it.
it's not an issue for us, but a resident reached out.
It's a feature of that property, so yeah, I suppose it's something that they should discuss and sign up on.
They're not cheap, those flags.
Really?
No, it's plastic.
Yeah, that's fine. And there was a pre-construction inspection that occurred today, kind of was at that, there, Gary was there.
I have a question for Larry. Do you have the original stormwater paper? Remember, we can find it?
The original
Yeah,
from 2000 whatever?
yeah.
The-
You have all that? paper?
Yeah, that's all up in the front office.
Okay. Cause I remember at one point, yeah, couldn't find it. Didn't know where it was.
But we got it because Mike found a copy of it.
That was a question for them.
The meeting notes were sent out about an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we looking for conditional authorization?
Yeah, conditional subject to my final review of those documents. Again, I've started, I actually came here early for the meeting, so I looked at them, partially through them.
Did they motion?
For a second?
Is there a reason why they have to move that fast? I mean, we're just getting notified this afternoon.
We have to approve it today. We haven't even had a chance to review it.
Well, they're out there doing the work hard.
Okay.
So, I would prefer that the agreement be signed because it binds them and there's a indemnification.
That's what I need to know.
I'm doing this to protect you guys, but your
Yeah.
question is an appropriate question. in this kind of-
It seems like we just get stuff done quickly and then they, here, approve it.
I have been negotiating these agreements for months, goes all the way back to February.
Okay.
And I came back on the trip, I called the lawyer and said, I need those. Here's the meeting. They got enough to do that.
Yeah, we had a pre-construction meeting today to kick off construction, which started back in May.
That's pre-construction.
So just vote on it yesterday, okay? Yeah, I got it.
Back to you. So we got a motion and a second.
Larry, did you know they started down there? Anybody else know they started down there?
They started down there?
You know, we didn't know this already, their lawyer, they called their lawyer and said something.
I saw that.
He didn't seem very.
You need a roll call or just regular?
No, you're not spending any money, so that's just a regular.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Okay, next item. Our streetscape beautification project, authorized payment, okay, this is that project that was done several years ago, state grant for, spent a lot of money on it, and we were supposed to, maintain it over the last few years, I don't know how many years, probably 3 or 4 years. I think we've probably done nothing up to this point.
Looks great now.
So we got a company to come in and Jake's Greenhouse out of Wampsville, and all new paper, all new stone. I've been by there several times. It does look nice, and we have some plans possibly for next year to get some potted plants and decorate it out a little bit out in Bridgeport. We certainly owe it to the people out there. That was a mess, So, but it looks good now. We're to a point where we're done with the project and moving forward with payment. Eric, do we have that money set for?
Yeah, there was, well, there is, not was, there's $10,000 in the community beautification account, AA 8510 4010, but for one of my budget transfers, I'm asking to pay that. The remainder, we need to move $19,990 from AA 1315 1400 over to the AA 8510 4010 to then be able to pay for that. And then we're caught up, and then going forward, obviously, I can't say obviously, but soon, be a lot less moving forward with the money.
So the EFC took a look at it, they're good with it? EFC looked at it, they're all set with it? Okay.
Yeah. So far, so good. They have aspirations of asking us to put more plant life in there. We're working on that. We don't want to overload it. And then have maintenance and stuff.
That's it, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see, this project, this will keep it, this project from around here, stuff is taken. Yes, sir. So the residents are gonna like it, leave it, right? Well, as for the last time, a lot of the stuff ended up in Angel's Yards. Okay.
Was that the budget mod you want us to?
That's the first budget mod that I have to get approved. And I also have 2 other ones, moving $3,733.54 from the BB 1990 $4,000 over to the BB 8010 4780 for zoning legal expenses. And then moving $2,281.52 from the BB 1990 $4,000 to the BB 8020 4830, and that's for planning legal expenses. We have 3 budget lots. I just need approval on that to move forward to then moving money.
Gotta prove that first out. Make a motion. I'll second it.
Roll call, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye.
And I'm an aye.
Does that take care of all 3?
That'll take care of all 3. I just wanted to add one other thing while I have Mike. There was a meeting, or it was with the Association of Towns that Tom and I were part of yesterday. And just so everybody's aware, there's a new state technology law that's starting January 1st, 2026, where all municipal employees that use technology must complete annual cybersecurity awareness training. And this includes elected officials if they use technology as part of their duties. And we'll put a policy together and all that. I've got one almost ready, but just so everybody knows that.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Okay, next, as everybody here probably knows, I think we had a little concert July 26th over at the Haven, sponsored by Chuck Taylor. Everything seemed to go fantastic. All paperwork, everything's completed. It worked out absolutely fantastic. I want to personally thank Chittenango, North Chittenango Fire Department, Tim Flynn, Dale, Kim, everybody for being on call. I know you've had some visitors from the Chittenango Fire Department and Bridgeport Fire Department too that came over and stuff like that. We certainly appreciate all that you did for that event. Fortunately, we didn't need it. So, and same is true with the EMS. They were kind of on call too with Dan DeGear and Jenna. They were aware of what was going on, and we had talked to them beforehand, and they were willing and able to go on any emergency and stuff that they had over there. So, so thank you. Thank you, Fire Department and EMS on that. One thing I failed to do, but was first time, so I'd like to introduce Karen Segroy. She's our new assessor. She's been with us a week and a half now, taking Tanya Piper's spot after she retired. Okay. She gave us a couple weeks notice though, so we're very, very fortunate to have Karen. Thank you very much for being here. So, what else? Oh, a couple things. Terry Manning, thank you so much for the all you've done for the Chapman Park series. It was fantastic. I made it out to a few of them myself.
Yes, you're reading my notes?
Thank you so much for doing all that. I know it's a lot of work and people don't realize what you do behind the scenes and stuff like that, but we certainly appreciate that. Okay, and the same thing with Lou Cianfrocco, mayor of Chittenango, doing the same thing with Tuesday in the Park, which has been absolutely fantastic. If anybody went there last night, it's packed. It's just awesome. That's great for our town. So thank you, Lou. Thank you, Terry. We certainly appreciate that. So, I wanted to catch you, John, on remember the lease?
Right here. So, Tom had something, Jeff, you probably want to remember this, we had that situation with Alliance Apartments, it's they have a common name, this is the apartment building that's over at, from the meeting, which is Chicken. That they've had since, I don't know how many years we've done this, but it's up for renewal, we've done this before. And they forwarded an amendment to it, an update to it. And I would, if you're prepared to do it tonight, I would ask that you approve something you might find with you. Remember, it took us a while to negotiate or something. So I just got it, and if they're good to tentatively authorize it, so that my approval, I will undertake that review.
What's this for?
It's for our lease.
I mean, but you're welcome to see it too. I'm not
We've
saying
had
you
it
guys
now
should
for
look at it.
a couple of years. The lease of the gym at Lake Street School.
Well, you're talking about Lake Street,
Yes. Okay.
What do they want to change?
Is it a yearly?
Well, I don't know yet, but I think just the
Just
term,
updating
it's just the dates, the terms.
They
But
renew
I'll double check
Is
it.
it a yearly thing, Jeff? It's a yearly renewal?
No, it wasn't annual. It was last time. I don't have the last.
I asked that question today and they said it was annual.
It's annual, but last year we didn't.
Oh, is that why?
Or Delta
That's
Federal.
what it is. I guess we never did one.
That was supposed to be annual anyway.
I know we hadn't done it. I didn't remember either.
That's how much trust these organizations have for each other. Probably shouldn't, but yeah, let's get it, get them updated.
So conditional, authorization after I get my final review of it. Be at that.
For a motion for that?
I do that.
Jeff? Second? Second, Dan?
What was the second?
Yeah. Roll call, Mike?
Sure.
Aaron, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye.
And I'm an aye.
Carried. Five zero. Next item, getting down to the bottom here. We do have one firefighter application. It's for the North Chittenango Fire Department. Her name's Haley Foster. I believe she's a, what, third generation?
Yes, third generation.
Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. So it looks like we have another good person, and hopefully she can get some people, recruit some people too. So looking for a motion to accept Haley Foster into the North Chittenango Fire Department.
Make the motion.
I'll second Dave. Gary? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome to Haley. All right, you got a couple things here? Okay, let's go to Carrie.
I asked Amy to do some research with regard to some of the older vehicles and maybe changing the, insurance as far as collision or, things like that, and she did a lot of work, and the, findings were, it's almost negative, so it's not working, there's not any huge savings.
What years are these cars?
2009. But it's, what was it, like $20 differential?
So we're getting common collision for $20 a year in 2009? Who's doing your shares?
Yeah, she's doing a good job.
The problem is the total will give you $150.
There's nothing there to see. Even if they give you $1,500, it's still way ahead.
Yeah, still have it.
So thanks Amy for the information. There's no sense changing it. And then as requested by Tom, I got in touch with Scott Ingmeyer, starting the meetings for comprehensive plan next month. And he's got two other individuals at the county, Nick Seidels and Charles Schmidt, that will join the group. And I'll send out an email in the next couple of weeks as to, what would be a good evening to start this thing. And Scott's on board whatever evening it is.
Great.
Get the thing rolling, and September looks like a good time to start it. Take everybody to the summer, so it's almost over. And then what we'll do with the board of supervisors is we progress on it. Anything, just keep giving the information, feed you guys. That should be pretty good. And then business park development, for that one we wanna meet, we're gonna meet, the week of the 18th, we'll be, see if we, start shooting some ideas for that. Okay. That's all I got.
Great, thank you. Sure. Appreciate that. Okay, is there anyone here tonight who would like to, Mr. William? Good morning.
MVPs. Could we get an update on the Whitelaw Water project?
There's been an comptroller application that's been submitted, Art, it was a fairly thick document. Comptroller's review is ongoing, and I believe they're looking for additional documentation on the funding that's been, locked in, and so that's just where they're at right now. It's not uncommon. We've got, my office probably has 6 or 7 of these, and they're all in the same place, we're just swirling, waiting for them.
We're essentially on hold, other than helping the town there, we do all the online application for the moment.
Thank you. The other is, I really appreciate having the microphones in, and I wonder if you could establish or set up someone to set these up also for the planning board and the zoning board, who seem to be meeting without them.
We've had those before, however, I've used them at the planning board or the zoning board.
Yeah, they should be there, for everyone.
I think, I know Jerry wasn't out yesterday. so
Right, Jerry wasn't here yesterday, so,
I've used them, I don't know if it's every single time, but I have used them.
wait, well,
Plus, there's like 4 people in there, but I don't know if they're having trouble with the cameras or something.
Yeah, it's more for people that are online watching them.
Yeah.
I've had a few people that have requested those. They say it's 100% better. Hear them.
That's perfect.
Jerry, step right up.
I like Art's, I can't come in peace. I don't come asking for money, believe it or not. All kidding aside, I just wanted to say thank you. There's a lot going on in the Bridgeport area right now. A lot of it is being driven by Point Place, but one of the real opportunities that we had, which we've taken steps in the proper direction, is cleaning up that Route 31 corridor down through there, and I really appreciate that. I look forward to continuing to try to make it look better. One of the real focal points in our community has been and continues to be the bridge. Andy's crew has given us some help cleaning up the town of Sullivan side of the bridge. I'm going to be making a similar appeal to the other side, that little hick town called Cicero, and ask them to step up and come to the party as well. The other thing is the concerts were extremely well attended at Chapman Park this year. Thank you to the Parks and Rec Department for providing a very, very appropriate and user-friendly place. And last but not least, I think most of you guys know Jerry Rollinson's planning on retiring in the very near future. I would like, as a member of the zoning and planning board, I would like to commend her and call her out for her years of service. She's been an absolute godsend. We're gonna miss her, but we all wish her well, so thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to have something to say? Okay, if not, I'll make a motion we need to go into executive session for some personnel reasons. We're gonna invite Mr. Lange, Mr. Tedford, and Karen. We're gonna invite Tyson. So, looking for a motion to executive?
I'll make a motion.
Jeff, all those in favor? Aye. Thanks everyone for coming tonight.
Yes.